My husband got a husband stitch behind my back, and a year later I can't get over it. For those of you who don't know, a husband stitch is an extra stitch done on the vagina after birth to make it tighter for the husband. I, 25F, gave birth a year ago, and my husband, 34M, who was a surgeon at the hospital I delivered, was asked by his colleague, the OBGYN, if he wanted an extra stitch. My husband said yes because he thought it would make sex better for the both of us. I didn't notice as I was out of it, but I was in a lot of pain afterward. Since it was my first kid, I was not sure if it was normal or not. I kept asking the nurses, who told me it might be because of the husband's stitch. I asked her what that was, and she explained to me. I thought at first the doctor had just done it, and I wanted to report him, but then my husband said he had agreed to it. I felt violated. This wasn't the first time a man violated my body. I was a molestation victim as a child. But this was the first time it was someone I loved. When I told him this, my husband was extremely angry. He said he did it for both of us, and he didn't think it was such a big deal that he didn't know it would cause issues. I pointed out he was a neurosurgeon, and he said he wasn't an OBGYN. The fight got ugly. I screamed at him to get out, and in the end, I had to be sedated. I had the same reaction every time he tried to see me. So for the whole time I was at the hospital, 3 weeks because of a slow recovery, I didn't see him. Now my son has turned a year old, and things between us are non-existent. I only talk to him about our son. We sleep in different rooms, and I don't let him so much as kiss me. He is extremely remorseful, especially as he saw how much it affected my recovery. He genuinely thought it was okay, as the college presented it as, it will make the sex better. But why would a tighter vagina feel better for women? That only feels good for men. He has asked for couples therapy, which I have refused. I have taken up freelancing, so I am making some of my own money. My husband thinks I am doing that because I plan to leave him, as I was initially dependent on him. He's partially right. I don't see myself getting over this. I am NSC with my family, and I live in his country. I have no friends but his friends, no family but his. Everyone is on me to make things right. They say he was wrong, but I can't hold one mistake over his head. My current country isn't exactly known for women's rights. Femicide is more common here than you might think. I am also on a spouse visa. I can't leave him until my son is at least old enough to remember me. Because if I leave, there is a 90% chance I will lose custody. What should I do in the meantime to make our relationship bearable? My fiancé asked me to choose between her and my mom, and I chose my mom. My mom turned 60 this year, and she is not going to live 5 years longer. 12 years ago she had a stroke that left her half-side paralyzed. She still lives alone and takes care of herself completely by herself. She is very resilient, and I am incredibly proud for her, but I know that her chances of living for another 5 years are very low. My fiancé got, surprisingly, a promotion in the dream job she always wanted. Saying it's a gigantic opportunity would be saying that a Ferrari is just a car. It's a once-in-a-lifetime chance. It will change her life forever. It will fulfill everything she wanted. It will make her rich. It also involves her moving countries, thousands of kilometers away. There is no way she won't accept it, and I wouldn't want her to. The moment she told me about it, I knew it was over. She asked me to come with her. I didn't even need to think about it, and said no. It broke me apart, and it broke her apart, and I feel nothing and simultaneously just pain. My mother has 5 years left at best. Then she will die and just never be in my life again. For the rest of my existence, until oblivion also swallows me up, I will never get to meet her again, hear her living voice again. She will be gone forever, just gone. The clock is ticking for her, every day a bit louder, and I simply cannot move away from her and see her only once a year anymore. How could I accept that only seeing her 5 times before she stopped existing? I cannot, period. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but it wasn't a hard choice at all. I want to tab myself. My fiancé is reconsidering our marriage after visiting my home country. To start, I come from a small island in the Caribbean, part of the U.S. I moved to the U.S. 5 years ago, just after graduating university, and landed a job here. Since day one, my fiancé has been romanticizing what is to live in a tropical paradise that is my country. I love my country, and I was raised there, but it's not even close to a paradise. Of course, it has its charms, but not close to that level. Well, we were planning our honeymoon, and she wants to stay there for 2 weeks and travel around the island. I am not fond of that idea. because I have seen it all and she wants to visit not safe areas around the island. Her main point of attraction is a place that is in a huge musical video, but it's not a safe place for tourists. So I said, fine, let's just do a quick visit before our wedding so we can see what is going on. She immediately accepted, and 1 month later we traveled to my home country. She wasn't impressed, but I kept my mouth shut. We arrived at the place, and I already know today is a hot day to be there. I try to convince her, but she insists on going in. The locals are eyeing us and my mind is screaming we should not be here. Not even 3 feet in and 2 guys confronted us. She started talking in her broken Spanish. Sorry babe, just made things worse. I tried to calm down the situation and we left soon after. I kept my mouth shut, even though I just wanted to tell her, I told you so, because this was stupid from the start. On our way back home she didn't say a thing even after I tried to open conversation. Well, today, 1 week after we arrived, she left her ring at the nightstand with a note telling me she needs some time. I fear this might be the end of it all. She never does this kind of things. Update: she called off the engagement. I don't know what to do, probably just drink while I play some Halo with the boys before crying myself to sleep. See ya.